Hi, I'm AnnMarie Walsh. I am padschicago on Twitter and YouTube and my blog and Facebook and pretty much most places on social media. Now, for one thing, a lot of people are confused about my relationship with homeless shelters because of the name I chose was padschicago. There are homeless shelters, emergency overnight shelters open between October 1st through April 30th. More suburban. I don't recall if there are actually PADS shelters under that name in the city. PAD stands for Public Action to Deliver Shelter. And I am not affiliated with them. Do not work for them or anything. However, I did used to stay at their shelters in the Northwest Suburban PAD system. And I am absolutely grateful for those volunteers at the PADS shelters out there. Volunteers are the absolute best. And I'm very thankful for those volunteers who show up to work and help homeless people and give us a place to stay because of their heart, their kindness, their generosity. We need more people like that in this world. Really. How I actually chose the name padschicago for my Twitter name is because I wanted a common denominator among homeless people. I wanted something that we could all relate to. And at shelters, homeless people sleep on pads. So I chose padschicago. That is a common denominator among all homeless people. Even those who don't go to shelters, they have some sort of a pad usually. Even if it's the padding of a jacket or cardboard, there's something we lay on. Now, I started Twitter in June of 2009. I had no idea what the hell it was. I just knew I heard about it on the news and people talking about it, and I'm like, what is this thing called Twitter? So I signed up for an account. And it's like, okay, now what? So I started tweeting just whatever random thing. And I started searching, see if there are organizations out there that help homeless people. Are there other homeless people out there? Who is interesting? Who might I want to follow? Who would want to follow me? I was thinking maybe Twitter can be used for people to connect to each other, to help each other. Homeless people and organizations to connect with each other. Homeless people and homeless people helping each other. How about a homeless person helping two organizations find each other? There's another concept. So I started looking at all these accounts and other accounts that I thought would interest me. And I got into meeting by Twitter Garrett's Popcorn. At the time, their social media account was run by someone else. But That doesn't matter. Thing is, they had a tweet up. They're like, come join us. They knew I was homeless. They didn't care. Come have your first taste of Garrett's popcorn. We'll give you a little on the house. I managed to get a train ticket from the suburbs to go to Chicago Merchandise Mart, and I went to the tweet up at Garrett Popcorn. I got a taste of Garrett Popcorn first in my life. Delicious, by the way. So good. I'm definitely a fan. And I met a lot of people there. As with all networking events I've been to, you go there, you meet people. But this one, I got a tweet later on from the guy, this one guy I met there. When we met, he had told me that he owned a men's clothing store. He didn't tell me the whole story until later. He also happened to be a case manager at Northwestern. He got me into a housing program that they had. It's now defunct because of money, of course. They didn't have the funding to keep it up. But because I went to that tweet up, because I met this person, he got me off the street. I went from sleeping on blacktop or concrete, which was my favorite, to sleeping on a bed. And I had my own bed, I had my own closet, my own room, my own space. It was a wonderful feeling. And it was because of Twitter, because of networking. A homeless person, somebody who's got no money, going out and meeting people. And somebody says, hey, I think I can help you. And you know what? That's exactly what I had been hoping for, that people could make connections. People started tweeting me, there's a homeless person near where they work or where they live. What can they do to help that person? Or they want to donate, they want to volunteer somewhere. I've even gotten people from like New Jersey or somewhere out east have even asked me for help. And even though I don't live there, I was more than happy to help them out. And Twitter has been there for me in so many ways. Twitter has changed my life. Not just because of housing, but I've had so many experiences that I would have never had I not been homeless. Within months of joining Twitter, I had an interview by Mike Horvath for his Invisible People YouTube page, talking about what it's like to be homeless. From there, I interviewed with more people, and then they're calling someone else, and, hey, you've got to get this girl to talk on stage at the 140 conference, which 140 conference I learned was a conference all about Twitter. It was in Los Angeles, and the guy said, yeah, he heard my story about being homeless and on Twitter, and he's like, yeah, bring her. we'll have her talk on stage. And I did. I got up there and I talked on stage at the 140 conference in front of God knows how many people. It was at the Kodak Theater. At the time, it was called the Kodak Theater. And I never felt more like a celebrity than I did during that 1 week I was gone on that trip heading out to Hollywood. I had a camera in my face the entire time. From wake up to going to sleep at night, I had a camera taking pictures and video of me, doing interviews. At the conference, I had so many, tech magazines and Roger Smith Hotel and all these different interviews. I felt like I was some major movie star on the red carpet. Really. A wonderful, extraordinary feeling. And towards the end, I was getting very stressed out, not knowing what the plan was. It was totally pulled out of one environment and into this other extravagant one. And it was overwhelming. But I got back and I still get requests for interviews about being homeless, being on Twitter. My whole story. People have asked me to do some speaking events, and even spoke to a class at DePaul University one time. And Twitter has been there for me. Not just the app itself. The people of Twitter have been there for me. You have been there for me. You got me through homelessness. When I was on the street, I didn't always have internet. In fact, I had this was back before smartphones. I had a dumb phone. I would send a tweet by text message, and I couldn't read it until I got to the library on a public computer the next day. But just being able to have the phone in my hand and send that tweet by text, I knew somebody was out there. Twitter connected me to the world, and I knew somebody was out there. Somebody was listening. Somebody could hear me. And Twitter got me through a lot of those nights when I was really scared because of post-traumatic stress disorder. If I was very fearful about, what if somebody comes up at night? Or, what if somebody tries to harass me? What if someone bothers me? What if it's going to rain? Somebody was always out there. Sometimes somebody would help me with my phone bill or with bus fare. And if you see the movie Twittermentary, it's a movie all about how people use Twitter. I'm in it. I'm one of the stars in it. And I'm losing my track of thought. It's such a fantastic movie of all the uses of Twitter, but in that very day, I had received a package in the mail. from one of my Twitter followers. I had made a tweet, and I didn't like the bed sheets we were given for the pads at the shelters, and I was like, I really wish I had my own. Somebody sent me a set of bed sheets, and I was like this. I got it, and I was like this little kid who got a Christmas present. Really, seriously, It meant so much to me, and I still have those bed sheets to this day, and I do use them.